Stay tuned for more coverage and my pickups after this. If you want more gaming and collecting content, don't forget to subscribe to stay in the know. Well, day 2 of the Portland Retro Expo is in the bag. Well, let's talk about the experience. First of all, when I got there was line, going around. And I was like, okay, it's not that bad. Do a couple more shots. And they actually put us in another room when I actually got online. Well, I was way off. The line's actually in here. And it kept filling up as time went on. This was about an hour early, and it got busier and busier, and it pretty much filled up the room except for the back. We got in, it looked great. You saw the Video Game Wizard, you saw Double Jump, you saw side quest games. Right when you get there, you saw Whatnot right there. As the day went on, it got busier. It was really crowded. I'm gonna say that this is probably one of the busiest expos I've been to, most crowded expos I've been to. A couple other people around me actually said that too. And I'm not trying to listen to any people. They were just saying, oh my gosh, this is so busy. And I forgot which vendor it was. And I was talking to a couple other people too. They said it was actually pretty busy this year. I was way off what it was going to look like because it was a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. I thought, oh, maybe the recession's going to hurt it a little bit. But that seemed not to be the case. People were itching for this event, and it was great to be here again. Now, normally, I don't go into the back to the very end. Well, this time I kind of sneaked in the beginning and skipped over the middle and went in the back. The back had some really cool stuff. That's the knick-knack stuff. The guy from NBA Jam, when the announcer was there doing a shtick saying boom shakalaka and like the one-liners in NBA Jam and some other games. From downtown! I finally picked up a knick-knack, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. Now, there was a lot of games. I saw some Little Samsons. I saw Panic Restaurant. I saw Flintstones at Dinosaur Peak. A lot of high-end Super Nintendo games. There was a lot of Earthbounds. It was kind of interesting to see the prices go from like $450 to $360. One guy kept marking his price down. I guess someone was hovering around seeing, what's the price going to be? What's the price going to be? It's kind of crazy to see that, but Earthbound kept going up and down. I was surprised to see so many Dragon Fighters. That's a really rare game, even rarer than Little Samson. I said it before. Someone had a CIB, a Kid Clown. There was actually a lot of sealed stuff. Wada was there, but I really didn't pay attention too much to them. In fact, I didn't see very many people go up to them either. Maybe they did. When I was over there, I didn't see anyone. Now, the weird thing is there was an auction going on with Whatnot at the same time the expo was going. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to turn out. The prices were hit or miss. Some stuff was market. Of course, some things were way under. There was actually a lot of Nintendo Powers, which was great. I was looking for Game Players in Game Pro, the early 90s Game Pro. And unfortunately, I forgot a couple Game Players I had. I did bump into a couple Game Players, and I have to go check that because if I didn't have it, I'm gonna kick myself in the butt because I didn't pick it up. Now, the vendors did well because I was at one booth looking at a couple of the games. I think the prototypes was, just capturing stuff, and I heard they made $6,000 less than 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it was. People were buying. I saw a lot of people fork over money. I didn't even haggle that much. I did a little bit, but not a whole lot because a lot of the vendors weren't even, taking those deals because they were like, hey, I can just wait till Sunday and I'll take deals. But the stuff was flying. Not that everything was. There was a lot of NES stuff left over. Posters, a lot of knickknacks, jewelry. It was a little bit of everything at this event. So someone made this really cool custom arcade. You could put your games in there. He wanted quite a bit of money for it, but he put a lot of time, effort into it, and I wish him the best. Hope it sells. If I had the money, I picked that out, put my game room down here. So I decided to check out the arcades again, and they were just as busy, if not even busier than yesterday. So I didn't get to play Godzilla again. I tried. I really did. I could not play Godzilla. And a lot of the arcade games were taken, and the pinball machines were taken. Limited Run was there, and Limited Run had some games. When I've been talking to him about how come I haven't got my Contra collection or my Snow Brothers, or hold my Snow Brothers ransom until I send out my Contra collection. So I gotta wait for both of them. So I ordered both at the same time. Yeah, I had a couple things for sale. Now, I was looking for a couple things. I went around trying to hunt down those Game Boy games, and there was some Game Boy stuff. I was actually surprised to see some of this stuff. Speaking of rare Game Boy stuff, no one had Toxic Crusaders. I did find a couple Amazing Taters or Spud's Adventures. $5.50. That's not that bad of a price for that game, but that would have taken up most of my budget, and I didn't want to spend on just one game. So at this event, I told myself, okay, I'm going to get one NES box to make that even number. I'm at like $279, now make $280. I'm like 5 away from my set. I still haven't got those 5 games, and I'm probably not going to get those 5 games. They're games I'm not going to play. They're just going to stay on the shelf. Some of these games are going to stay on the shelf too, but for sure those will stay on the shelf, not play, because those strategy games like Noah Bunga's Ambition. I'm missing the sequel. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2, Gemfire, Uncharted Waters. Those games I'm just not interested in getting. I was looking for Captain Commando. I was looking for Obscure for either the Xbox or PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 1, Evil Dead. Pirates of Darkwater, it's another beat 'em up from a cartoon show. For TurboGrafx 16, I was only looking for Raiden. That was the only TurboGrafx 16 game I was kind of interested in. This is not pick up at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I picked this up just in case I couldn't find it at the Portland Retro Expo. I got this on a Whatnot auction. There was only one copy of this at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and it was way more than I paid for this one. This is not a very common game. It's Nosferatu. It just kind of shows kind of what this event was like. It was kind of hit or miss on some stuff. Now, it was really hard to capture the games this time because most of the stuff was in glass or even plastic. That fluorescent light was just hitting that and bouncing off. So I apologize for the light beaming down on these and not looking as crisp as previous years. So what about pickups? Let's start with something I normally don't get at expos, and that's Game Boy Advance stuff. Not very often, but I got a complete in the box Castlevania game, Circle of the Moon, for the Game Boy Advance. That was perfect time for that spooky month of Halloween to pick up a Castlevania game. Love Castlevania, and I can't wait to play this. Never played this one. I got for a decent price. The guy was doing a dice, and if you got I think it was 15, you get 10 or 15 or 20 off. I forgot, and I had to pay full on this, but I still got a pretty good price. The last con I went to, I looked for Season 2 of The Walking Dead for the PlayStation Vita. Well, I picked up Season 1 for the Vita. I already got Season 2 sent to me on Amazon complete and new, actually. And now I have both Season 1 and Season 2 in the Vita. Let's take the Sony handheld, Silent Hill Origins. Got this for a really good deal. Oh, it is complete, because I have Origins on the PlayStation 2. There's original on the portable before I got it on the PlayStation 2. I'm really happy about it. Also picked up another Silent Hill game, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Complete. Now I already have this sealed for the Wii. I have the soundtrack even for it because I got it when it was brand new. I pre-ordered the game. Just never opened it, but I've been wanting to get a play copy. Looking forward to playing it, actually. So I did pick up a knick-knack. I got Magnet Man. I couldn't decide which one I wanted. Love Mega Man 3, so I had to get something from Mega Man 3. It's not the years I'm looking for, but they were a decent price. I got some Game Pro stuff. Now, I didn't get any Nintendo Powers, but I did get this at the Video Game Museum. Name, Retro Dead. Subject, collecting. Got Evil Dead. I've always regretted not getting this when I first had a PlayStation. Found this, and then I found another copy later, and I think they're about the same price. I got Blood Omen 2 for $5. This game I hunted for all over the place, just like Pirates of Darkwater. This was number 2 on the list, Captain Commando, and then this was the second on the list. I wanted the Xbox version over the PlayStation 2 version. The game was Obscure. That's the game. Got Obscure for the Xbox original. It's a horror game. One I've been looking forward to playing in the horror mood because it's Halloween. And I could not track this down anywhere else. Found at Video Game Wizards. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Got Obscure. This is it for disc-based stuff. I got Lagoon. I almost picked this up in a box as it was not much more than the cart, maybe $10 more. I was like, I already picked it up. I'm not buying a second copy. But I got Lagoon. I have no idea what this game is. It's called Spectre. It was for a decent price. I kept bumping into this game. It was at several booths. About the same price everywhere. So it's probably not a great game, I'm going to assume, but never heard of it. And I was like, oh, okay, why not? I'll take a gamble and buy this game. I picked up The Simpsons cartoon within a cartoon, the Itchy and Scratchy game. A genuine Simpson product by Acclaim. I did not pick this up at Renton, but I picked it up here at the Portland Retro Expo 2022. I picked up Mega Man X2. I got it for a really good price, better than anyone else, as I got 10% off and did that dice roll. I picked up Castlevania from him second. I picked this up first. Gave me an instruction manual, and he made me choose. Like, I'll take Majora's Mask. Now I gotta get Mega Man X3 eventually. I got Captain Commando. 3 booths had it, and 2 of them were the same price. I found a nice, clean copy that was cheaper than this one. I already bought this one, and I didn't realize how yellow and kind of gross this one is. It's not a very common game. It's a beat 'em up I've been waiting to get. So I was going to get an arcade 1-up that had it on, which I still might eventually, but I was like, I want the Super Nintendo version. So I got Captain Commando. I didn't pick up any Sega Genesis stuff, surprisingly. I had a couple of things on my list, I just didn't pick anything up. I looked for Pirates of Dark Water everywhere. I could not find it till the very end, where I found a Sega Genesis version loose. If it was CIB, I'd consider it, but I only wanted a Super Nintendo loose. Complete for Sega Genesis, I picked it up, but they didn't have it. But that's the only time I bumped into Pirates of Dark Water. Day 1, I already picked up some games. I picked up some Game Boy games. I picked up Pikachu Edition of Pokemon. Now I have all the Pokemon games on the original Game Boy. And I picked up this one, it's the Spell Check Info Genius. I have the other 2, and I used to have this one. So I think I have the Spanish one and another one, but I don't have this one. I didn't find any other ones at this event either. There's the only one I found. But that was day 1. Pokemon, and I picked up that Info Genius. I got this for free. I have the NOE version, and I always want to get the American version. I want to say thank you to Mr. CIB and the Collectors Podcast. And what you said really did make my day, and I want to say thank you so much for the game, and it means even more since you gave it to me. The NOE version's white, this is yellow, and I've always wanted to get this one. Like, I'll wait. When I saw it at your booth, I had to go up and give an offer, and you gave it to me, and it was great, honestly. Thank you. And I can't wait to watch your podcast. So I picked up this one, International Soccer. It's not a common Game Boy game. A lot of the soccer ones are really hard to get for the Game Boy. Going like down to 10 or something, or maybe like 12. Saw this one like, oh, right. Yes, I'll grab that one. I always think I own this one. I don't. It's Pyramids of Ra. There's another game that sort of looks like it, and I always think I own that one. No, I don't, but I picked this up for a decent price. Last Game Boy game I picked up is a sequel, Voxel 2. I got this at Video Game Wizards. It was the very first purchase of the day, and I saw like, oh right, Voxel 2. I need that game. So it's another puzzle game, just a sequel to the first one, and yes, a Voxel 2. I came here not going to get NES games except for $1. No NES games except for $1. That was my mindset. I don't own this game, and I've been thinking about picking it up for years. I don't get a lot of unlicensed games. Saw it, I'm like, okay, I'll get Wally No Game. Never owned it before. Been kind of on the list a long time ago. My oldest one, 2017 down. It was a decent price. And now like, what, $702 or $703 for NES carts. And I also picked up another unlicensed NES game. Now I'm only one away from a complete Tengen set. I got the Tetris Tengen game. I can't believe I'm missing the Double Dragon manual in my box, but I am, so I had to pick up the manual for Double Dragon 2. I was only going to get one box. But then I came across a guy who goes, Markdown Games here, Markdown Games. And there was NES boxes. And I looked at them like, wait a minute. I was in a bidding war with this on Whatnot, and it went way what this guy was asking. And I picked up another one. This too went crazy expensive on Whatnot. But I got it for the same price of this one. It's not a very common CIB game you'll find, so I picked up that. And then the boxes just kept coming. I'll grab Chessmaster, Kid Cool, this for relatively cheap. And then the seller had empty boxes. This was on my list as a potential box to get, besides Frankenstein Monster Returns. And that box kept showing up being super expensive. I'm looking for the Home Alone that has the Kevin saying, oh no, not the graphic that says oh no. So I asked him, hey, does this one have the Macaulay Culkin Kevin going, oh no, not the graphic? He goes, you know what, for this much, and it's like half what it usually goes for if you want to take that gamble. And I go, okay, fine. It was on my list anyway, potentially to get, so I took that gamble. So I have a complete in the box Home Alone, and I already tested it, and it's the same one I already own, so I'm still on the hunt for that Oh No Kevin one. That was the original one I used to have. I've had 3 copies of the Home Alone that has just the graphic, only 1 copy of the Kevin going Oh No. That's what I'm looking for. Eliminator Boat Duel, only cart in box, but it's not a very common box to find. It's not a very common game to see very often either, so I got it for a decent price. Well guys, this is my haul for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. It's kind of bittersweet because this is my last year doing the coverage. I've done this since 2013 for sure. This is the last year I'm going to do coverage. So Solrong's Retro Collecting, the Retro Dash Show, we're saying goodbye to the Portland Retro Expo as a content creator and showing the pickups and, going to the event. I can't say I won't show my pickups if I go next year, but I won't be doing any coverage, any more cons actually, unless I go to a brand new one. And it's kind of an end of an era for this channel and for me personally. So I love the Portland Retro Expo. I love doing the coverage of it, but after doing so many years, I'm going to let it go. But I am going to do a retrospective and kind of like the best of my pickups and what I thought of each expo, including the missing 2017 video, which has been sitting in the archive for years. It's time for someone else to show their journey, and I'm looking forward to watching that journey and seeing what their expo experience is like. Well guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. Have fun, go game, and see you later. I hope you enjoyed the coverage I've done for the Portland Retro Expo over the years, especially 2022, the video you're watching, or just watched. It means a lot to me that you guys watch these type of videos. It's a little sad to see it go, but it's time to move on. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, comment, and give a like. Have fun, go game, and I'll see you in the next video.